Hello and welcome back to Raising the Robins, and it's Season 2, Episode 1. Still in the Bostik Premier League. Obviously last season, if you caught the last episode, we did fade away towards the end. We kind of lost to some teams around us, or dropped points against some teams around us, let's put it that way. And I think we finished one place outside the playoffs in the end. I think we won our last game of the season, I seem to recall. It's been a long time since I recorded it. I'm recording this one on my week off. I'm going to try and get one or two done, ready to release next week. But yeah, so as you can see today, we've got Northwood. Not sure if it's the same estate as in betweeners, the old hard Northwood lot. But yeah, they're newly promoted, so it should be an interesting opener to the season. Now, the other thing as well, I've just before I started the game, had a bit of a big-ish update on the game, or a patch or something, and yeah, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. Either my tactic is going to go through the roof and take us to another higher level, or it's going to completely capitulate us and we're going to end up getting relegated and getting sacked by Christmas. So we'll find out. We might have to reevaluate what we do. Now, so we'll start the new season. So there's a few things to look at. Mostly it's transfers, a few things like that. So I guess we'll head over to the transfer centre now. So in terms of outs, there's only one that's kind of gone either technically as a transfer. We've had a few players leave the club, but we'll get into that in a minute. So yeah, James Spray, we bought him in as a target man last year when we thought we were going that route. He wasn't really very good. He was literally someone who could play a target man, who we could get cheap on a free. He played 4 games for us, didn't score. He goes for free. We probably would have released him anyway. I think he was on a non-contract. Or even if he wasn't, we would have just got him off the books. So yeah, he's out the club. So the other things we've got to look at is, though, there have been a few retirements and a few releases. So Adeniyi, the actual manager of Carshalton, if you like, player manager, centre back, centre midfielder, he has retired. He was on a bit of decline anyway. He had fallen out of the team. So it gave me an easy way of sort of keeping him away and out this season, because we probably were going to be looking to replace him anyway. But he was I think a very highly influential player in the hierarchy of the team, so to transfer list him or release him would have gone down pretty badly with the team. We had James Hayter, the striker that came in at the end midway through last season, to play that deep line forward role. He retired as well. He did quite well. I did try and get him to reconsider. Unfortunately, he didn't. And we did manage to do the big news, bigger than any signing we're going to make, is Karoma finally signed the contract. So we will go to the ins now, and I'll do them one by one. So the first one in is Brad Nicholson. I had a few positions that were vital for me to try and bring either replacements or just some reinforcements in. One of them was at left back. Mendy, he actually did quite well for me. He scored quite a few free kicks as well, which was an added bonus. But we needed a left back. We did actually release a couple, so that's what I'm going to say. So Dos Santos, actually need to say, we released. He was unhappy with the team. He wasn't on a contract. We just got rid of him. He was bringing the dressing room down, so out he goes. Bobby Price, the left back, the backup left back, wasn't good enough, so he went on a free as well, and James Spray, like we mentioned. So yeah, we need a left back, so in comes Brad Nicholson. He was originally at Handsworth Paramore, so below us. Then he went to Chesterfield in the Vanarama National. I didn't know they dropped down that low, to be honest. I thought they were still in the Football League. Then he went to Redditch, I think that's where he was last season. Didn't do amazingly in the division below us, I think that is, but he's got enough about him to at least play back up, but he's got some good tackling, good pace. Stamina needs a bit of working on, acceleration, agility, that sort of stuff. There's a few things that aren't great, but at 20 years old, he's 2-star current. He's got 4 scopes B5 to be, quite good for us. He's on £30 a week. You can't really say much more than that, can you? Now, another position identified was centre back. So we saw Ellis Hancock's come available, and again, good tackling ball. When I'm saying good, 12 isn't amazing, but a lot of the players I'm getting coming up have got like 8 tackling, 6 tackling, pace of like 4, that sort of stuff. So this guy's got 12 pace. His strength needs a bit of work, but he is improving. Tackling's quite good. His heading maybe needs a bit of work, but he's 6 foot tall, so it's not too bad. For this level, the sort of player we can attract, we're not, our reputation isn't there yet. We can't even attract the better players in this division, or even the division below us. We're kind of struggling. But he originally was at Preston. He was there for a couple of years, and he's been in the wilderness for a little while before he went to Stratford Town last year on a free. Played 8 games, scored a goal, 1 assist, 6.49. Again, not amazing, but some of these ratings, they could be in teams that are struggling. He comes into us, and he probably will form part of our main centre-back partnership. But I think there's enough there, £25 a week, there's enough there for us, 2-star current, 4-star, 5-star, like I said. I think there's something there to work with. Now, we needed some reinforcements in goal as well. Obviously, the goalkeeper we had last year was on a loan. I think it was Yeovil. We tried to get him on loan again. They wanted a lot of money for him. They wanted a lot of his wages, and he was on probably more than we can afford. I actually had 2 come up, so we did actually sign 2 goalkeepers, which gives us 3 in total. We are trying to loan our other one out, the one that we own, because he's the least of the 3. If we can get someone to pay his wages, so far that's not happening. But handling here of 14, concentration 12, decisions 13. These are one of the better players we can get at this level, really. I think he comes from Brighton. Yeah, he started at Brighton. He went on loan to Worthing last year, played 2 games in the Bostik. So in the Bostik Premier League, so he's got a level experience at this level, and then his contract at Brighton expired, and we're able to snap him up. And I think for this level, he could be absolutely fantastic. 18 years old, 3.5 star current, 5-star potential. I think this guy will be our number 1, but we'll have to look at the other one, because we had actually 3 in the end come up. And I signed 1 already, and I was like, oh my god, but I did need another goalkeeper. But we signed 2 pretty good goalkeepers where maybe the funds could have gone elsewhere. So Jordan Carey, I identified a striker as being needed with James Hayter, well, a couple of strikers really. In the squad actually came to me saying we lack depth in the striking positions, and that actually made Karoma unhappy. But I think he'd already signed his contract by that point, so you know, whatever. But £20 a week, 18, right, start again, 1.2k value, £20 per week, and 18 years old, Welsh, well, not international yet, but he was at Bristol Rovers, well, since the start of his career pretty much, so he's been there 3 years, hasn't made an appearance yet, but he's done okay in pre-season when he's played. 14 pace, I wanted someone with a bit of pace up front. We've got Chrome, he does quite well, but Hayter was very slow. We haven't been able to find a deep line forward, so we had to just find the best we could find within the attributes that we know required. So he's got good acceleration, he's got good off the ball, he's got decent finishing, not a prerequisite necessarily for the deep line forward. I mean, any strike you need it really. So we got, yeah, actually no, some of them aren't great, but again, like I say, I was clicked on poacher. That's what he's good at. But we might switch to that. We might have to switch to that a little bit with the patch and the update. I'm not too sure. We don't know yet. But he's got a bit of pace. That was the main thing I was looking for. If I couldn't find someone who could play the deep line forward role, I want someone with a bit of pace, maybe just to upset the apple cart a little bit in the division. And then we've got Elias Williamson. So it's another striker, 19 years old. Again, doesn't really play, you know, familiar with any of the roles we're looking for. I don't know what his favourite role is, to be honest, because he doesn't have a full green on any of them really. He's not happy with any of them, so I'm not sure what he's looking for. But he, again, just a bit of a backup, 2-star current, potentially 5-star potential. Again, good natural fitness, pace is okay for this level, finishing's not too bad as well. He's 5'10". He was originally at Mansfield. He's been there a couple of years, went to Swindon Supermarine, didn't have the best of seasons, admittedly. He's probably our 3rd, 4th choice striker, so yeah, that's to be beared in mind. He's on £20 a week, worth £400. 19 years old, yeah, I think that's not a bad sign. Again, if you look at, like I say, I'm going to keep saying it, you look at the players I'm being sort of put forward, I'm either getting terrible dross players, or the players that my scouts are finding, or that I'm able to find, that they don't want to come. They're not there yet. We found, I think I mentioned it in an episode or 2 back, the academy, and they had two amazing players. One of them just wouldn't give me the light at the time of day, and then I think he did give me no, I think the striker one I'm thinking of, I don't think would come touch me with a 10-foot barge pole. He went off somewhere. He's gone to like League 1 or something. So fair play. The other one was a centre back, and I left him because I wasn't sure. And then as it got more and more obvious that I wasn't getting great options, I went for him, and Oldham came in like League 2 or something and just snapped him up. So yeah, we were absolutely robbed on that one. If we'd have gone earlier, we probably would have got him, but we left it. But Elias Williamson, who we're looking at now, he comes in. So now this is the final permanent signing. We've made a couple of loans, which we'll look at in a minute, but it's another goalkeeper, 23 years old. Again, he's got quite good attributes here for what we're looking for. He could be quite good in this division. He's been originally at Portsmouth back in 2011, then went to Havant and also Louisville, so not too far. All these teams are quite close to Portsmouth, Petersfield, Fareham Town, I'm not too sure about that one. Salisbury isn't too far. Totton I don't know too well either, but he's been at Salisbury by the looks of it for, I mean, in different aspects, either on loan or there permanently. But he comes on a free. We snap him up. He's on a 0 contract, so he's not costing me anything. I had already had the other goalkeeper, and then this one came up, and I was like, I don't know, do I risk it? But as soon as he was happy to set to non-contract, there was no risk really. It's just when we play him, he gets paid. And something I saw, I can't remember who, it might have been Foxy. I watched one of his videos or one of his guides, and I think it was in these lower divisions. If you offer them the international, as long as you're a bit wary, they don't have a chance of playing for international, which one of them did, so I had to put it away. The international cap and bonus and international wage rise, once they hit one cap, just max that out, lower their wage, and they'll be quite happy to come. So we did that on a few of these as well. But yeah, Charlie Searle, so I think we didn't need to do that because he was on a non-contract, but most of them we did. So hopefully, like, Carey won't be getting called up for Wales anytime soon, because that will hurt us immensely. But 6'2", very good goalkeeper, goalkeeper. He might be our number one just from the age and experience. Haven't worked that much out yet. We got to the first game today, so we'll see what team we go with. We've still got potentially 1 or 2 positions we need to fill, but we've got a couple of loans which we'll look at right now. So Dan King is rejoining the club on loan. He will pretty much be 3rd or 4th choice centre back, maybe even further below than that. But he's on loan again from Gloucester. He formed a big important part of our defence towards the end of last season, possibly when we did start dropping some points, because he probably wasn't quite good enough, but he was kind of second best what we had at the time. So yeah, we've got him on loan again. He's costing us £5 a week. He's happy to be on rotation, 18 years of age. He knows the club, he knows what we're all about. He got a 6.7 on 27 games last year, so not too bad really when you consider. But we've got 2 Kings again this season, just to confuse things even more, and I think they're both D Kings. One's Dave, I think, and one's Dan. Dave and Dan forming the defence, but Dan won't be featuring as much this season as he did. Certainly not, I wouldn't have thought 27 games anyway, unless we have a complete collapse on our defence and need to put him back in. And here we go. So this is the other centre back we've got. We've got him on loan from Sutton, fierce rivals, but they were happy to loan him to us. He's 6'2". He's probably more of a replacement for Popo rather than the fast centre back we've been looking at. But tackling's good, marking's good, jumping reach is good. Again, I have to put the stipulation in, good for this division. Again, he's played for pickup. This is the academy we were talking about. So we've got a few of these being looked at, being scouted currently. But if we look at their players, I'll show you who went out for them. So this was, one of them hasn't happened yet, or maybe in last season. Arif Hatabi, left midfielder. He, I mean, again, would have been fantastic for us. Valued at 250k already. He's gone to Billericay, 13 pace, technique 11, crossing 13. There's some good stuff there. And he started at Magpies in Gibraltar, gone over to this pickup academy. I don't know much about them. I don't know who they are, so I'm not too sure. So who was the one we looked at here? Where did he? I'm sure he went to Oldham. I thought I saw, or is it not gone? Maybe it hasn't gone through yet. Transfer centre. Oh, maybe he was a free transfer. Maybe they released him, perhaps. Transfer. It's not showing him. Maybe the centre back was a free rather than pick up. But yeah, he definitely was one I was looking at. There's a few here. They're not amazing, I don't think, but if we can try and pick them up, they'll probably be good enough for us. Yeah, well, some of them. This guy's a Kosovan, so that'd be interesting to add something different. Although when Brexit comes in, depending what Brexit we get, I think it's not happened yet. I'm not too sure. But yeah, Mark Agu. It hasn't featured yet at all, either for pickup or for Sutton. We've got an Ivorian in, but I'm sure he's got English in his alternative. Has he? No, he's literally just Ivorian. He can't, so he could be affected by Brexit. But yeah, I think this guy's pretty good. He could actually be a shout of being in our centre back. We haven't worked out our best team yet, and I'll sort of talk you through our pre-season a bit, because again, that's something else that I've incorporated a little bit different. Something I kind of picked up from Dr. Benji in his Thames save last year, so you might have an idea where I'm going. But that is the transfers complete, so we'll head back to, well, just the normal part of the episode now, I guess. So we look at the friendlies. You're going to see not the best pre-season really. So we've lost pretty much every game. We did manage to beat Charlton. So we've got the Woodman Cup. That's the local pub in Carshalton when I used to live near there. Probably will be going there in a week or two. Not this Saturday, the Saturday after probably. Got our annual sort of what do you call it? I mean, pub crawl, that sort of stuff. Going to watch the United game with my mate because he's a United fan. Shame on him. in my local pub, the new local pub. But we always end up doing the crawl. What's the Simon Pegg film with the World's End? That's it. It's the equivalent. That's what we call it. We call it the World's End. And some of the pubs, it could be the World's End. But this local one near me seems to be quite nice. I've been there once. No, I haven't been there yet, actually. I've walked past it a few times. I haven't actually been there. So it'll be the first time. But yeah, we lost. Actually, we played some big teams in there. Palace, Cardiff, Derby, Blackburn, Everton. Some big, and you can see we've got pound sign cup, Bunts Cup, money maker, all that sort of stuff. These were literally just to get money in the bank, you know. And then I finished it off with Croydon, Banstead and Whiteleaf. If it's Croydon, I think it is it Kangaroo FM? I think it's doing a save with them at the moment, and they've just blocked him on Twitter. Shame on them. Free publicity, and they've just shut him down. Shocking. I know there's 2 teams in Croydon, so it might not be them, but I'm pretty sure it is. But we beat them 4-1, we beat Banstead 5-1, and Whiteleaf 6-2. All fairly local to me, but they were to get the morale back up and get us back on a winning hill. And then we played Eastleigh as well. That was one that I didn't arrange, as was Molesey. So that's going to be after the league game today. So we are going to do just the one league game today, and then we'll sort of fly through a little bit as much as we can and do back to the 2 going forward. And I'm not going to be too busy tomorrow evening, so I'm hopefully able to record. If I can get further enough forward, or a certain way forward, I can record the next episode tomorrow. It might be fairly close to this one because I'm not at work this week, so I can't play through while it's quiet. So that's that. So if we look at the finances, actually, we have a quick look. We were doing not too bad, but this has really helped, as you'd imagine. So our transfer budget is still 0. We've got a wage budget now 6.2. It's not too bad. We're only spending about 3, so spending half of it, so that's very good. But we've now got 126 grand in the bank, and you can see that it's just flown up here. I think we did briefly touch the red last season. That was mainly because I started signing players left, right, and centre, and had some quite big wages on the go. A few of those have left. A few of those obviously retired. I think we released a few more that I didn't write down because they weren't noteworthy, but they were on wages. So it's trimmed it down. We've got a squad that's going to play, and a lot of them that aren't going to get paid. But without further ado, we're going to jump into today's game against Northwood, and hopefully we can pick up pretty much where we ended last season on a good run. Certainly from sort of Christmas onwards, I think we had a good run. So if we can continue that, that would be absolutely amazing. So we'll jump into the lineups right now. I've got to pick the team still. So here are the lineups. We've gone with the 4-4-2 as usual. We've got Bentley in goal. He is our number 1 as it starts. Nicholson at left back. We've got a lot of debuts. We've got Hancock's making his debut at centre back next to Popo. King slots back in at right back. Delaney at right midfield. He had a fantastic season last year. Adams and O'Connor in midfield. I think they were pretty much our mainstay last season. We didn't have a lot of injuries. We didn't swap around too much, as you may remember. Corbeau was injured at the start of the season, so we got him. Mendy steps up into left midfield after vacating left back. Carey slots in next to Karoma. So quite a good pacey centre forward here. Something I do mean to mention as well. We've got Corcoran on the bench. He's only 16 years old, but he is one of our best players at the club in midfield. We're training him to play centre midfield at the moment, the box-to-box role. But he came through our youth, our intake last year. He has to feature. He really does. He's training with the first team now. Hopefully it will benefit him. Yeah, so he's up there. He's already worth 2k. He's one of the most valuable players, I think, in the team as well. So absolutely crazy. So he's on the bench. We'll try and get some game time this season. They're playing a 4-3-3. Now, I don't remember too much how we did that last season. They've got a few real players in here. Well, 2 real players in here. The rest of them all regens. And blanked out, so I think he's a real player as well. But we'll jump into the team talk. It says don't say anything extra, but I don't really want to do that. Go there and give the fans their money worth. Kind of worked. This is where we're going to make our money, like we always do, in the follow-ups, where we get most of our greens. And so we're in our, well, it looks like we're in yellow. We're actually in white, not yellow. We have a throw in here, drops it in short to Karoma, who's dropped it very deep to get the ball. Finds O'Connor. Can Karoma get a bit forward? He's a bit further forward now. Adams. And it's in, off the post. 1 minute 30 seconds in, and we have the lead. Great strike from Dan Adams in the centre midfield, who the assistant wants me to play right back, but he's better in midfield. He's better getting forward for us. As you can see here, he has a great strike. Oh, wow. And the keeper basically got concussed off the woodwork there. Great start, 1-0 Carshalton. And we clear it again. Obviously, you've got to remember, take all things in our stride, because this team have only just been promoted. Karoma, and he has a chance to open his account for the season after 3 minutes, but it goes begging wide. A good save actually, not even wide. Adams with the corner, and it's back post, but no one's there, and they have a chance to break. And this is something we saw a lot last season, getting caught on the break, particularly from our own corners and set pieces. But the highlight ends. That's fine. And as we roll into half time here, it's the half time highlight, and you might have quickly glimpsed it there. If not, you'll probably see it at half time as Chrome gives us a 2-goal lead right on the stroke. We just dropped down to 4th. That should push us a bit further up. We've got a lot of players dropping into the 50% condition. Pre-season has been very much hampered with a few injuries, a few niggles, that sort of stuff. So people like Karoma have missed a lot of football, quite a few players, and it's starting to show. We are going to have 7 days rest, so it should help them pick back up. But it's worrying for now because we could start picking up some more injuries, and our squad isn't quite that strong enough to cope with it. They've only had the 1 shot, which is good to see. We've had 8 shots, 5 on target. Okay, like I say, it's hard to judge because it's a team that's just been promoted, but the levels are so slim in these low divisions. There's not much between a team getting promoted and a team getting relegated, to be honest, but they do seem to be fitter than us in general. As Carshalton Athletic has signed for another club apparently and just scored a goal. So with about 10 minutes to go, we've made a few tactical changes. We've increased the time wasting, as they have if someone could they all just ran away from that bounce back. But yeah, we've increased time wasting, made us a bit narrower, dropped us back a bit, made us more disciplined, dropped the tempo, dropped the pressing, dropped the intensity. So hopefully that should just be enough. I mean, very little has happened in this game. We've had a couple of highlights, we scored 2 of them, we've done the job. We have another one here. We are just playing to see the game out, play it right maybe, and Karoma's on the rebound. He should score. I think he's offside, I think so, but he should have played that out wide right really. First of all, we don't win that ball, we don't win the second ball, we let them in behind again. They should score here. Good clearance, whips it away, full time. 2-0 away from home against, well, a team that's been promoted, didn't really put up much of a fight, but we have to go out and still do our job, don't we? We did that. 2-0 win, clean sheet as well, something that was a bit of a premium last season, so to get one in the first game, it's making the defence and that already look quite good. We've got a friendly against Molesey. I might actually just cancel that, actually, because I think we need, it's 2 days after, and then only gives us 5 days. I don't think it's worth it. I think we might cancel that, so I'll look at that in a minute if I can. No, okay, so we're just going to rotate out as much as we can, really. We don't want them players playing two games in 2 days, 3 days. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we'll be back for the next episode. Basically, it's gone midnight now, so I need to go to bed, even though I'm off work. It's actually it's nearly 1 o'clock. My daughter still gets up as early as always, so an early start tomorrow. Hopefully I can then push through, get as far as we can. Maybe if we just get to the end of this month or something, play a few games, or maybe try and get in September. But yeah, we'll come back forever. There's no plan at the moment. Hopefully once I'm back on my normal schedule, we can sort of, I mean, to be fair, last season I very much hit and missed where we were coming back to. It was just very much what we could do at work and stuff. So we'll try and work it a similar way, I guess, this season. But if you enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like. If you're new to the channel, please do drop a sub. There's a playlist down below as well, so you can go back and catch up on season 1. I think it's 8 or 9 episodes. The first 2 or 3 are just kind of overviews, so you can maybe just have a look at them and maybe look at the last if you want to. If you want to go through it all, that'd be absolutely fantastic. If not, probably the first 2 and the last 2 maybe would give you a pretty good sum up of everything that's happened. Yeah, so until next time, I'll see you next time. Take care.